Good morning, everyone. Remember the motto, ladies, don't let any other lady spend more time with your husband than you. And husbands, for God's sakes, don't let no other man spend more time with your wife than you. Now, yesterday I was talking about the building blocks to a successful marriage. And one of the things I mentioned was we go into marriage not prepared, most of us, because of the absence of counseling, premarital counseling, right? And I just want to share a little thing, something with you. I remember when Desmond and I were getting married, and we had to meet with the pastor who was marrying us. They said we had one session. Now, I don't know how we were supposed to cover our whole marriage life in one session, but we had it for one session. And the only thing I can remember the pastor saying to us was, he asked me if my parents, if I had any divorce in my parents, with my parents, and I said yes. My mommy was divorced. And then he asked Desmond, and Desmond said the same thing. Yes, his father was divorced and he was on his second marriage. So what he said to me was, because I came from a background where my mommy was divorced and Desmond came from a background where his father was divorced and me remarried, that we had a high rate, a high chance of getting divorced in our marriage. Can you believe it? We didn't get, we weren't even married yet, and that's what was being told to us. Nothing about how to communicate in marriage, how to develop trust in marriage. So those things are important in the marriage relationship when you are getting married. And today we're going to talk about one of the foundational blocks of a successful marriage, and that is communication. Okay? Communication. And communication is just not you talk and I talk. When the other person is talking, you have to actively listen. You know, sometimes you can listen, but you are listening to defend yourself, but not listening to understand what your spouse is saying so that you can give a considered response. And listening is extremely important in marriage, because you can also communicate without even opening your mouth. So as we go throughout this day, I'm going to drop some more videos on the importance of communicating in a marriage, one of the foundational blocks. If you want, or if you desire to have a successful relationship, it is absolutely vital to learn how to communicate, because if you are not talking to your spouse is talking to somebody else, and that's an issue.